All right, here we are in our dashboard. So I have this sample site here, bradhussey.ca/ultimate developer, and I just have a sample site that I'm going to just run through some of the stuff that WordPress offers. So now we have a fresh install of WordPress. I'll show you the front end of the site here. It should just look really plain, just the vanilla WordPress install. And it's just there ready for you to start blogging if you want to just use the pre-built thing. But I just want to show you the dashboard really quickly. I'm assuming a lot of you already have experience with the dashboard or with WordPress in general. So I'm not going to go crazy hardcore into this because it's pretty straightforward stuff. WordPress does a good job of making that easy, but I'm just going to quickly run through for you. So you got the dashboard. This is your dashboard. It gives you just kind of news and updates, any activity, and at a glance, how many posts and pages you have. And then a lot of the time it comes installed with Jetpack. Jetpack is just like a WordPress default plugin, and it lets you do a whole bunch of really cool stuff. You can connect to your WordPress.com account, install a bunch of really neat WordPress native plugins. Posts is where you're going to add your blog posts. You know, if you wanted to add a new blog post, you just hit the add new button. You can go through and you can add your title. So for example, I'm just going to say my first blog post, and I'm just going to put some fancy lorem ipsum in here, a couple bold things. I'm going to italicize something here, and I want to, I don't know, block quote that. Whoops, not that. I want to block quote this. Good to go. And you know, you have your format if you want to change the format here. This is all native WordPress stuff. I never really use this. Categories, if I want to say general, add that as a category. I'm going to say coding, tuts. Tags, say something like YYC, coding, hacking, Brad Hussey. Just for some tags and feature image. If you wanted to add a feature image, you could do that, and that'll show up on the post. Go ahead and publish that, and then there you go. Your blog post should be published live on your site. I'm going to refresh here, and my first blog post right there, it looks all good to go, nice, and the typography is all sexy and good to go with the default theme. And then we're going to want to jump into media. This is where if you wanted to upload any images or any of that sort of stuff that you want to use throughout your site, any uploads or attachments will be found in here. Pages is the kind of pages are not so much posts like blog posts. They're actual pages like the About Me page, or if you wanted to add like a contact page. So I'm going to quickly add a new page and say About Me. Hi, I'm Brad. More lorem ipsum. And you can choose a parent if it was a parent of a certain page, or a child of a certain page. So if you had it about our company and you wanted that to be under the About Us, About Me page, then you could choose Parent About Me, and then you'd be off to the races. Pages are pretty simple, and you can also add feature images if you want. The WYSIWYG editor in here, you could pretty much do anything you want. Formatting, you could add images, links, you could do HTML in here if you really wanted to. Publish that, and then now on the front end of our site, we should have a link to another page, which in this theme doesn't seem to show up by default, but you can turn that on, which takes me to, I'll get to that in a moment here. So comments, that's where your comments will be. You can edit them or remove them in there. This is the Mojo Marketplace default plugin. You can remove it if you want. Appearance, this is where you can change your themes, customize widgets, menus, and the default theme is 2015 as of right now. So I'm going to just jump into menus really quick under appearance and just show you, you can create, let's say, header menu. I'm going to create the menu, and I'm just going to say About Me and sample page, add to the menu. I want to reorder that page thing there, and you can auto add pages if you added new top level pages, and the primary menu is what I want it to be set as. Save that menu. Bam. Now we should actually have a navigation. There we go. Home, sample page, and About Me. Here's my About Me page. Good to go. And back here, you could do things like play with the header if you wanted to add, header image. You could change things around here, background image. You could change your navigation right in the customize window here. Widgets. If you want to play around with the widgets, you can, right now we have search. You can reorder it. You can see it shows up live here. If I wanted to close or remove the comments, add a widget, you could choose a bunch of widgets here. You know, if I wanted to say tag cloud, you can see down here, we should have a tag cloud, Brad Hussey, coding, hacking, YYC. You could save and publish. That'll show up on your live site. Head back to the dashboard here. And if you wanted to go to that window I just showed you, you could do most of what's here in the dashboard just by going to Appearance and then Customize. And that'll take you to the Customize view where you can change the site title and tagline, hacking and stuff. And then you can change the colors. You can play around with background color. You could change the theme just built in right here. Just some standard stuff. Nothing really fancy. Again, this is just the native built-in styles that you could play around with. And so that is how the customize window works. Now back on our dashboard, plugins, this is where, we'll jump into another lecture here, talk about plugins. This is where your plugins will be. This is where you can modify them, delete them, add new ones if you wanted to search for new plugins up here. Users, this is if you wanted more users. So right now I just have admin, UWD. If I wanted to add a new user, like if I wanted to give my client access to the site, you can create the user, choose the role, depending on what privileges you want to give them, send that password by email and add that user. You can change your profile, which is just generic bio information. If you want to change your password, first name, last name. Tools and settings, you probably don't really need to play around with tools at all. It's just for importing previous WordPress content. Settings, you will want to play around with this. Certain things like site title, tagline, WordPress address, your email address, if you want people to be able to register for the site, your time zone, the date format, just kind of like, just settings. Writing, under the setting, you can change default post categories and any other kind of technical details. Reading, if you want to change something like how many blog posts show at the front, if you want to change to a static page and you want it to create the About Me page is a home page and Posts page is a different page, so on and so forth. You could play around with that. Discussion is if you want people to be able to comment and you can moderate any of those comments. Media, just more technical details about image sizes when they upload. Permalinks is also an important one. If you want to change your permalinks to something like the post name, which has a pretty URL, Ultimate Developer /sample post, rather than query string p equals the ID of the post, which you should know how that works now. You can use this to make it look sexier rather than just kind of techno jargony up there. And that's the dashboard. That's just a real quick, super fast Speedy Gonzalez 101 on the dashboard in WordPress. So go ahead, install WordPress if you haven't already done that. Play around with the dashboard and just come back when you're ready.